Am I audible? With the due permission of the panelists, shall we start with the session?
Yes, please. Yes, Saloni.
Thank you,
If
sir.
everyone else is ready, I think we can start.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everyone. This is Saloni Paliwal, and convener of the ADR Society of HPNLU Shimla. There is an alternative, there is always a third way, and it is not a combination, it is a combination of the both ways, and it is a different way. Alternative dispute resolution, an appropriate panacea to the conundrum of accessibility and deliverance of censoring delay and assuring that there is no denial of justice. Good evening to our esteemed panelists, revered professors, distinguished luminaries, and aspiring young women and men of the legal world. I take this opportunity with great pleasure to welcome one and all to the last and final segment of the National Mediation Competition 2.0 on behalf of the entire HPNLU family. 64 participants, 51 judges, 32 teams, and the enormous efforts of the organizing team. Through this endeavor, we bore witness to excellent displays of professional erudition as the participating competitors tactfully maneuvered arguments, adroitly designed solutions to the problems posed, and established sound juridical rationale. Please put your hands together for a big round of applause as a show of appreciation for the efforts and promising talents. Thank you. I can state with utmost credence that this competition has been a tremendous opportunity to imbibe knowledge and inculcate valuable insights on the skills and techniques of mediation, not just to the prospective career aspirants in our ADR, but to all the students of law present here today. Therefore, I would like to take this moment to express my gratitude to all the eminent personalities and fellow students who have contributed and made this possible. So finally, I would like to open our valedictory ceremony and honor and recognize those that have been exemplary in this event. With this, I would request the director of the Center for ADR, which is the organizer for this national mediation competition, Dr. Santosh Kumar Sharma, to give his welcome speech and honor the respectful guests that are present in today's session.
Thank you, Saloni. Thank you so much. And this is really a matter of pleasure to the Center for ADR and Professional Skills, Himachal Pradesh National Law University, Shimla. This is the second edition of our national mediation competition. And this could be possible just because of the altruistic contribution and academic contribution because of all our esteemed guests. In the previous edition also, we have received very nice and gracious contribution and all kind of help from all the dignitaries and our esteemed guests. Similarly, we have been better in that respect in this edition, as all efforts are basically from the student ADR Society of the center, but we know that sparing time for these kinds of events is very tough from your busy schedule. So, on behalf of the university, Himachal Pradesh National Law University, Shimla, and Center for ADR and Professional Skill, I extend this welcome address to all the present dignitaries here. First of all, I welcome our chief guest of the session, Sri Vishwajit Dubey. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and present here in this valedictory session. Though our finals have already been over 2 hours prior to the schedule, but we thought that okay, anyhow, it would be a great pleasure if all of you can spare some time so that all the participants may be benefited from your work. And I welcome our guest of honor, Mr. W. Patrick McLamy, sir. Sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and being here in this valedictory session. Thank you so much. And I welcome our special invitee of this session, Mr. Amit Sandhuja, sir, advocate and mediator, and Mr. Divyans H. Rathi, chairperson, Lexidem and Rathi. So, and above all, I welcome in this valedictory session all the participants, whole team of ADR, and all the helps which are being extended by the technical staff and each and everyone connected with this event. So, Saloni, over to you to proceed further. Saloni.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. With this, I would invite the judges for the panelists for their for speaking a few words in the session. It is our honor, more than our pleasure, to welcome and invite our dignitaries for this valedictory ceremony. I invite Mr. Amit Sandhuja, who is an advocate currently at the High Court of Delhi and has been working in the field of law since the past 15 years. Sir possesses great vision in this field and has experience of working in all levels of courts. Sir has been involved with the field of arbitration and mediation for a long time and has exemplary insights in the field. With this, I invite Sir to say a few words and enlighten the students.
Thank you, Saloni, for these nice words. First of all, thank you, Santosh Kumar Sharmaji. Very good evening to all the respected dignitaries. Before I start my address, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Professor Dr. Nishtha Jaswal, Vice Chancellor HPNLU, and the Center for Alternative Dispute Resolution and Professional Skills HPNLU for inviting me for this event. I am delighted to have been accorded the privilege to speak all of you on the occasion of second edition of the National Mediation Competition 2022 being organized by HPNLU. As you all know that ADR India is not a recent phenomena. There has been a long and distinguished history of using alternative methods for resolving disputes in India. So if we closely observe, these practices have been deeply embedded in our Indian society and can be traced back to those days when there were no formal courts and people used to voluntarily submit their disputes to a group of wise men. Similarly, in the panchayat system, to a group of persons used to adjudicate upon the matters. The ancient Indian texts also indicate a close proximity to the system of arbitration. For instance, Sage Yajnavalkya is said to have in ancient Indian texts referred issues to various arrangements, including occupational goods, family, or others, and puja. However, despite the long history of ADR in India, people have been reluctant to use these methods. People still prefer to indiscriminate resort to courts, lengthy, complicated procedures. In addition to this, the inadequate understanding and acceptance of ADR as a genuine alternative method to resolve disputes has hampered the growth of ADR in India. So, at present, Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1986, which is modeled on the lines of unsettled framework of laws, has marked a concentrated effort to modernize the Indian arbitration law and imbue it with best global practices in an attempt to establish India as a global arbitration hub. Along with this, over the last decade, fast-track arbitration and establishment of special commercial courts have attempted to transform India into a leading center for international and domestic arbitration. So I'm sure that you all must be well aware of these concepts, so I won't be taking much of your time and will not go into the depth of this topic. If we closely look at the global position of mediation, we will conclude that mediation, or rather ADR, has been a very effective tool in reducing the burden of the courts. In America, also, mediation is a norm of dispute resolution and litigation is an exception. In England, the courts do not award costs if a litigant unreasonably rejects mediation as an alternative dispute resolution mechanism. These numbers depict that India too is going on the right directions in adopting ADR methods for resolving of disputes. Moreover, I'm certain with competitions such as these, which provide a platform for young budding lawyers to showcase their talent in resolving disputes, along with proving an opportunity to them to learn nuances of the profession, will definitely help in the growth of ADR in the coming years. To conclude, I would like to quote Honorable Mr. Justice Retired Dr. Justice D.V. Chandrachud, wherein he has very aptly summarized that court in India are extremely burdened and desperately congested. And in view of the alarming rate of high pendency of cases, dispute resolution mechanism like mediation is an important tool. With this, I conclude my address. But before I part, I would just like to say that always remember in every competition, there will be a winner and there will be runners. However, there are no losers. You should always learn from your mistakes and improve in future. And I'm very sure that all the runners here will one day surely become winners. I once again thank the organizer for giving me this platform to put forth my views on a topic of such importance, and I thank each one of you present here for this patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for mentioning the need of ADR that is there in India, and also telling the students that it is the participation that matters and not winning or losing. With this, I go ahead with inviting our other special invitee, Mr. Divyansh Rathi, who is a managing partner at Lexidum and Rathi, has been in the field of mediation for the past 3 years. Sir is the founder of Latest Laws, a website that provides legal updates and articles. We invite you, sir, to share your illuminating views with us.
Thank you so much, Saloni. Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to join today the valedictory ceremony of the second national mediation competition, which is being organized by HPNLU. Thank you, Santosh Sharma sir, for inviting me. So, mediation is a very close topic, which is very close to me. I have done my master's in international dispute resolution, and during that time and after that, I have I'm a trained mediator. So, and being very young in this field, obviously there are things that we learn as in our mediation training, and we see, and as an advocate we are part of mediation process in many types of disputes, be it matrimonial disputes I have been part of, where mediation process has been resorted to a couple of times, as well as the commercial disputes, because in India the commercial courts act provides for compulsory mediation in the commercial disputes. But the key here is how much successful is the mediation in India. One of the first thing is that the court attached mediation is an important thing in India. Wherever the courts are there, there is a mediation cell. And mostly those disputes which go there are the matrimonial disputes. And matrimonial disputes, which I feel are most important to be resolved through mediation, because either the parties want to, because the mediator shows them the background, rather than on concentrating on the issues, he shows what all will happen if your marriage is not successful, or even if you have to part ways, then harmoniously part the ways. And it is, it is a setup similar to which happens in Indian villages, the panchayat system, the sarpanch and all these people, which used to in the villages, because the families were closely knit. And because in modern India, nuclear families are there, people usually don't have any background of the villages, or any societal pressure on all those things are absent. So in these cases, then one has to resort to the modern panchayat system, you can say, is a mediation in the courts, where a mediator is there. He is trained to do those things. In the panchayat system, society was trained to do that. Their elders were trained by their experience to do those things. Here we are training young people and other people experienced in this field go through this training. So this is a very important stage where mediation is helping in India, is solving the matrimonial disputes. Second thing is the commercial disputes. One of the important things where mediation is playing a key role is through Commercial Courts Act, which provides for compulsory mediation, and Supreme Court has said that you cannot deviate from this requirement of doing mediation. You have to compulsorily go through that process, which is encouraging it. And also international level, the mediation is very successful in commercial disputes because of the confidentiality. Even if you go through arbitration, you will have to file a claim before, if it's a SIAC or LCIA, you will have to file a claim. And one might not know what the proceedings are happening, but certainly the information goes out that, okay, some dispute has occurred between two big companies. So that is also denting to the reputation of a company that, okay, these two big companies are in some dispute. Through mediation, you don't need to file any claim with anyone. You just need to appoint a good experienced mediator, settle the issues between them, and you're good for the issues are resolved. So that is a very important thing at international level and national level. But the next question is, what next has to be done to promote mediation in India? The competitions are very good for encouraging students for mediation, but when we come to the field, where do they place? When they see that, okay, where can we use these skills in mediation? They see that the mediations in the courts are being given to the experienced mediators. The young students, although they can get training from private institutions, but where do they use those skills? Are we providing them an infrastructure in the courts or other private mediations where they can do those mediations? That is a very big question which is not answerable by anyone, because at now mediation will is still pending. So recognition of these centers and all those things, mediation training and all those things are still in process, but any organized structure of using those skills for youngsters is still not there, and trust on the young lawyers for doing mediation is lacking in India. So those things need to be taken care of. And like myself, I'm founder of Indian Dispute Resolution Center. So we also provide mediation courses and all those things. But the question is where to use those skills. When we give training, the next thing is courts need to recognize, apart from their own mediation centers, people should be able to choose from the better private mediation centers as well. Private mediation needs to be promoted in India, like institutional mediation, not just through the courts. You should be able to go through the other private, and it should have same sanctity and enforcement. The main thing lacking in India with respect to mediation is the enforceability of the decision. When everything gets settled before a mediator, and after some days, one party will back off. Okay, I will back off, nothing happened. So entire hard work of 3 to 6 months of a mediator, all the expenses goes in the drain. So what the thing in India is to enforceability of mediation settlements is the important thing that needs to be taken care of. And with establishment of institutional arbitration or dispute resolution centers like IDRC, which we established in 2020 after Mr. Sikri had inaugurated that. So we have our own mediation rules. So institutional mediation, where the parties can go neither to the courts but completely outside the court system. Confidentiality is there, trained mediators are there, proper rules are there. So once the mediation bill is passed, institutional mediation and private mediations are recognized by the courts as they are by the courts as the court attached mediation cell. So those things are required in India, and also the matrimonial disputes should be settled through private mediations. One should not need to go to the litigate, file a petition in the court, then the opposite party comes, then a mediation petition is given to the. I have seen a lot of people asking, what should I do about my matrimonial dispute? So only this thing is they have to go to court, and there is no other solution, because only there the pressure is there and all those things. So that this is the important thing. So we in India need to promote youngsters into field of mediation, and that through how to get those skills involved in after they pass their law degree. That's where we need to work on. Where do we involve them? After they have taken a training as well, a trained mediator, 40 hours mediation training. Earlier, it was not very encouraged that only 10 years lawyer practice, he will do only mediation in India. So once a lawyer who is into the field for 10 years, he doesn't have much time to do those mediations. He is busy with his own arbitration and court litigation. Only the youngsters are really need to do these mediations. Small mediations, commercial disputes should be given to them to learn new skills. So that those things are required, and I hope the youngsters in this competition must have learned these skills from the judges. They must have learned what better they can do, and in future they will probably go for a mediation training, and they should do it from good places that like IDRC and other institutions provide such trainings, and therefore they can then impanel with the arbitrations and mediation centers, and then they can effectively use those skills. So I wish all the best to the winners and everyone whose result will be announced. And that's all from my side. Thank you, Saloni. Thank you, everyone, for the patiently hearing to me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words. It was really true. It was actually true that the roots of mediation and ADR are very, like, they have been there in India for quite long, but it is still there, awareness that is yet to spread. So with this, we are trying or everybody is trying their best to spread awareness about ADR, and I hope we succeed in it and ADR gets more popular. With this, we go ahead and invite our guest of honor for this session, that Mr. Patrick McPhillamy, who is an ADR attorney, a founding member of CIARB, and has been a member of board of directors at Virginia Mirror Co. Limited since 1999. Sir is a very respected leader and has more than 38 years of experience in the field of law. Sir, we humbly request you to share your words with us.
Thank you very much. A very good evening to everyone. I'd like to express my gratitude to everyone involved in the competition. It's been an honor to contribute to this auspicious event and to assess the very talented group of students competing in the competition. The students acquitted themselves extremely well, demonstrating competence in mediation and mediation advocacy. I'm also grateful to have the opportunity to participate in this esteemed panel, sharing my views on alternative dispute resolution and the value of ADR competitions such as this one. So, in my view, mediation is one of the best mechanisms for the resolution of disputes and conflicts and making peace, whether in the context of commercial, civil, or family law, to name a few areas in which mediation plays a significant role. Mediation plays an important role in resolving disputes at all levels, local, national, and international. Mediation is also an important tool for maintaining and restoring relationships, both professional and social. Mediation provides greater access to justice for the general public, as we well know, saving time, money, and the stress and inconvenience of the cumbersome litigation process. The ADR community is also very supportive of all involved in the important work of mediation. And I think as students progress in their careers, they will find that the ADR community is very welcoming, very supportive, and will help them in their journey to become professional mediators. With the increasing acceptance of technology in alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, such as ODR, online dispute resolution, I think we've seen the exponential growth of mediation worldwide, expanding its reach and its benefits to the international community. The value of these competitions is difficult to overstate. The competitions, they provide a platform for students to test and hone their skills in mediation and other forms of alternative dispute resolution, including arbitration and negotiation. Such competitions also allow students to put their knowledge and skills to the test in an interactive and challenging environment. The celebrated ICC International Commercial Mediation Competition, for example, brings law and business students and ADR professionals from all over the world together to participate in its annual competition. Just to talk about that competition for a minute and its relation to this one. The ICC competition is one of the largest international educational events in the world. It's been growing steadily since its inception in 2006. The ICC rules were used in this competition. The students demonstrated excellent familiarity with all aspects of mediation and the rules. In 2023, we'll usher in the 18th ICC International Commercial Mediation Competition. In the last decade, has seen participants from 49 countries compete in the competition. These competitions provide a platform for students to interact with seasoned ADR professionals. And the competitions are open not only to law students, but to business and economic students. So the breadth of these competitions is continually expanding year after year. And it's probably not an overstatement to say that they're well nigh ubiquitous. You see them on all continents and in all major countries throughout the world. Universities, law schools, business schools are all promoting these competitions. So they're alive and well, and they're certainly here to stay. I think the competition take into account the importance of training the next generation of persons in dispute resolution skills. This university is certainly in good company, and I think its commitment to ADR and ADR competitions reflects its understanding of the importance of mediation competition. Competitions are one of the world's leading mediation capacity building events, both for the next generation of mediators and for dispute resolution experts, and for the future of users of mediation. I think the competitions bring together experienced mediators and students across generational and cultural divides. Competitions provide an opportunity to share ideas, experiences, and best practices. These competitions are also supported by some of the top law firms and dispute resolution individuals and institutions worldwide. This competition provided students with an opportunity, I think, to learn a lot about themselves, apart from learning from fellow participants, leading ADR professionals. The winners of these competitions have their profiles elevated nationally and internationally, and they jumpstart their careers in mediation and other ADR mechanisms. So in sum, these competitions promote the spirit of mediation and many of its goals, including improved access to justice and the enhancement of social harmony through competition and learning. It's been a great pleasure to participate, and I'd like to thank everyone for their kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words and for your time. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. And in the same line is the vision of Center for ADR. By conducting such competitions, we intend to promote and contribute to the growth of ADR, and also to make sure that the students learn more about mediation and get trained in the same. With this, going ahead with the session of valedictory session, I invite Mr. Vishwajit Dubey. Sir is the chief guest of this session. Sir is a partner at Cyril Amachan Mangaldas and Corporation with over 18 years of experience in dispute resolution, with specialty in insolvency and bankruptcy practice and product liability. Sir has been involved in several high-profile landmark disputes. With this, I invite Sir on the podium to give us to speak few words and enlighten the students.
Thank you, Saloni. Thank you for your kind words. Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank HPNLU for inviting me as a chief guest for this event. I am actually, and especially I would like to thank Mrs. Nishta Jaiswal and Mr. Santosh for giving me this platform to speak my mind here. And I'm actually thrilled to be in the company that I have. Mr. William Patrick is a celebrity in his field, and I'm actually thrilled to be sharing this platform with him. And the other guest, Amit Sanduja, he is actually quite an acclaimed, and I'm actually must appreciate the choice of guests that you have selected. Mr. Sanduja is actually quite a successful lawyer himself in Delhi and is quite well known. And Mr. Divyanshu Rathi is a young, and I think he's a role model to a lot of young lawyers that we have. So I think you have quite a, I mean, this is actually, it couldn't have been better is what I would say. So to, I mean, and also I would like to apologize that I could not come as a judge. It was, I couldn't get enough time to do this. But I'm glad that I'm at least getting an opportunity to talk a few words. I would like to actually say that Mr. Rathi talked about the fact that, I mean, particularly the problem that he highlighted, that young mediators, they are not getting a chance to showcase their skills because they are trained, but where do they use it? It's actually a genuine problem. The other thing is, I think Mr. Sarnuja on the same, I mean, he talked about the fact that mediation is not something that is new to India. It has a deep roots in Indian history, and it's just that somehow we have lost the fact that we perhaps could have been leaders when it comes to mediation, solving disputes without going to courts or to judicial forums. But somewhere we have perhaps lost track. And talking about Indian context, in India, it is not, mediation is not something that is a matter of choice. In India, I think it is a necessity, and the need for mediation can't be overstated. I keep talking about the example that India is facing a problem of enormous number of litigation, which can actually be related to the number of vehicles that ply on the roads, and there is a lot of traffic jam because our roads can't take any more vehicles. Similarly, our courts can't take any more matters. But having said that, every day we have new filings. So the one of the ways to take it off the uh, uh, road is to have build flyovers. Mediation is like a flyover, according to me, where you actually can you take the matters out of court and try settling those matters by giving a win-win situation and option to all the litigating people. So I feel this is something that is very, very and extremely important from Indian legal perspective. The other aspect is that, and we keep thinking about as to why is mediation not taking off as much as it should be in India? Because it is in India, it's actually the need of the hour. Uh, and Mr. Rathi actually rightly highlighted that people don't get the forum to showcase their skills. So I feel one of the things that should be done is that people who know mediation, people, when, say, for example, I as a lawyer, I am approached by my clients, typically our training is that my client has approached me. The only duty I have to find arguments, build a case to succeed in court or in an arbitration, which is something that needs a change of mentality at the end of the lawyers, at the same time at the end of the client. Because my client will be happy to pay to me my fees or maybe more perhaps if I win that case for him, as opposed to if I tell him that, look, if you settle it today, instead of getting possibly a favorable decisions 5 years down the line, which is also be subject to further challenges and appeals, it is not going to suit you. So today, if you have a situation where you may perhaps feel that you deserve better, but this is still a win-win deal for you. So we need to motivate our clients, show them the right path. At times we just, as lawyers, we are trained to say that, okay, you have these very excellent, very good arguments, and you have a good chance of succeeding, as opposed to saying that, look, you have these weak points, you may also lose. Although of course the client will think that you're not doing justice to his case. So the client also needs to understand, because no one has seen the future. There are so many uncertainties. 5 years down the line, even if you succeed, it may become meaningless. And I'm talking about this purely from commercial perspective. When it comes to family or personal matters, I think there can't be anything better than immediate settlement, because the process itself is the punishment. The emotional toil that the family and people go through just because of the litigation that goes on, and lawyers as a part of their duty at times take difficult calls. They may appear to be harsh in court, difficult in court, which again has an emotional impact on the people that are involved. So I think there is something that needs to be changed in us, and perhaps having some sort of small course when we are doing law, that mediation is something that some people should go with some basic training in that, so that they at least can advise to begin with to the clients that this is also an option. Please think about it. Right? Client has come to you. Everyone assumes that the client has only come to you to fight his case, not to get a settlement out of it. So we need to change that. Having said that, I feel that these days I very frequently see people who are trained in mediation. The problem is also that at times we don't know what mediation is about. People lack training in mediation. There is an approach that has to be followed in mediation. People think that mediation actually means settlement. Therefore, both parties have to compromise. I think when you are trained as a mediator, you get to understand that it's not something that people are making a compromise. Actually, a win-win situation for both the parties, which is something that needs to be put in the head of both the lawyers, because typically we are attuned to feel that if there is a mediation, it means that I'll be compromising on something. That's not the case. We need to understand that it is a win-win situation. Now, that's about mediation. So I think people have already spoken about it a lot. Insofar as these competitions, organizing such competition are concerned, I think that it is extremely important for people, one, to talk about mediation, particularly at the student level. Two, for people to understand the approach, how to go about it, and showcase their skills, because it is an important skill that you learn. If you when you participate in such events, you may win, you may lose, but what is most important, that in that process you learn. Even when you win, there will always be a few things that you can pick up from the people you won, and of course if you lost, you may have a couple of more things to learn from the opposite side. So it's very, very important that you learn from each other. And of course, those who win and those who lose, ultimately what is most important is that you are participating, because those who don't participate have already lost and they don't even get to learn much. So it's very, very important that, and we all should be grateful to HPNLU for giving this platform to the students to participate through this. With that, because I believe that most of the participants would be waiting to hear what the results are. So I would not like to come in the way of the results. So I would once again thank everyone for giving me this platform. And thank you, everyone. Have a very good evening. Although on paper, I am sure the winners' name are already written. But because I don't know that their names, I would wish the best to everyone, all the participants, all the best. And with that, I would hand it over to Saloni.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, first of all, for your presence and then your kind words. They have literally enlightened and given a lot to the students. These such platforms are for us to exchange thoughts, and it has truly proven itself. So having such luminaries and the students where we are exchanging thoughts about mediation, it has been a great evening for all of us. Thank you, all the guests, for gracing us with your presence. With this, I'll be moving ahead with the winners announcement. Not all dreamers are winners, but all winners are dreamers. Your dream is the key to your future. And with that, we open the floor to the most awaited moment of the evening, the winners announcement. I'll request the host to kindly share the screen so that we can announce the results. The best negotiating pair for this competition is GLC Mumbai, Government Law College Mumbai. The runner-up negotiating pair for this competition is RG Annual. The best mediator for National Mediation Competition 2.0 is KLE Society's School of Law, Bangalore. The runner-ups mediator is Symbiosis Hyderabad. And the best team for preliminary rounds is University School of Law and Legal Studies, GGSIPU. With this, heartiest congratulations to all the winners and thank you to all the participants for gracing us with your active participation. No duty is more urgent than giving thanks. I would maintain that gratitude is in the highest form of thought, and that gratitude is happiness, doubled by wonder. With this, I would like to invite Dr. Mrityunjay Kumar, who is the co-coordinator with the Center for ADR, to deliver the vote of thanks. Sir?
Till the time he joins, I would like to congratulate everyone who participated and got these results. Many congratulations and all the best to everyone.
I'm sorry for the delay. Sir was having some technical issue. He has joined the session. Mrityunjay sir, if you're there, am I audible to you?
Yes. Thank you, Saloni.
Thank you, sir.
I'm thankful for giving their valuable time for this particular event. Mahatma Gandhi said that the peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to cope. And one of the greatest features of our legal system is that it has the ability to learn from other voices, particularly when it comes to informal legal system. Legal system has learned this particular ability that we need to go beyond adversarial and to understand that mediation and arbitration can be a great tool for the disputes. And one of the great anthropologists, Richard Abel, said that the nation and its resolution defines the character of a society. So in that sense, mediation is a hallmark of our civilization and something which has a long roots from Buddha. From these words, I, on behalf of Center for Alternative Dispute Resolution Skills, SPNLU Simla, showing grateful all the great dignitaries participated for this great event, particularly Mr. William Patrick McPhillamy III, International Mediator, and for giving us his valuable time. I am grateful to Mr. Amit Sandhu, advocate and mediator, for his presence and making this competition. I am also thankful to Mr. Divyans Rathi, chairperson Rathi, for giving us his valuable time and insights for this event. I am also grateful to Mr. Biswajit Dubey, partner Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas, for significant valuable remarks. This event has witnessed its glorious height. Leadership of Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam Professor Dr. Nishtha Jaswal. Under her leadership, raising the standard in organizing the events of significance. And I want to show gratitude to Honorable Registrar Professor Dr. Yasser Jaswal sir for being too kind and supportive for the event. I am extremely thankful to our director, Dr. Santosh Kumar Sharma sir, for work and sincerity. I appreciate the dedicated works of all the participants coming across the country and our sincere students. You all have proved the ability to work in group efficiently and sincerely. This event is successful because of our technician also. They have done significant contribution in organizing such a virtual event. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Once again, heartiest congratulations to all the winners and also the participants, because as our panelists said, it is about the participation and not the winning or losing. With this, sir, passing words by our director, Santosh sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Saloni. I would just like to add one point. William sir, this would be a great pleasure to invite you here in this hilly terrain of Simla. So whenever you come to India, it would be our pleasure to have you there to host you in this university, sir. And all other dignitaries, Vishwajit sir, Divyansh Rathi sir, and Amit Sanduja sir, it's very near to your working city right now. So, and as and when you are coming to Simla, and please welcome to the university. And we hope that in the time to come, we would organize these kinds of events in the campus. And it would really be great pleasure to all of us and an honor to us and to the university to host you there. Thank you all to spare so valuable time. Thank you very much.
On a lighter note, if you organize this in June, perhaps we'll find a lot of lawyers extending their entire day.
Easier to organize in June.
Yes. Yes, sir. Our academic calendar is also slightly different, not slightly, quite different from all other NLUs in India because of this severe cold during this month of January and February. So we extend the session till 30th of June. So we would like to invite.
If you organize in June, we'll be there only. You don't need to call us, we'll be there.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, all the participants and the guests. And with this, we wish you all the best for your future endeavors, all the participants. It has been a pleasure hosting you at Himachal Pradesh National University, and it will be a pleasure to host you in future as well. Keep mediating.
Thank you so much, panelists.
Thank you.
Yeah. All the best.
Thank you, sir.